With the thick of fantasy draft season approaching, I recently provided my top 10 values at running back and tight end. I offered my top 10 league winners, too. While there was a little bit of overlap, I tried to avoid writing about the same players here, so make sure to read those pieces as well. Now, on to my leading breakout candidates. Don't sweat the concerning August headlines. Fields is my guy this season. The Jets are clearly built to run the ball, and that should help Fields, one of just 3 NFL QBs ever to post a 1,000-yard rushing season, reach his full fantasy potential. Expect a lot of outside zone runs, which play exactly to Fields' strength. Not only that, but new Jets offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand spent the past 5 seasons on the Lions coaching staff. If his offense operates like Detroit's did during his time there, I expect Fields won't be asked to air it out as much as he was in Chicago, and that he will instead be expected to complete shorter passes, like he did last year in Pittsburgh when he posted his best career metrics as a passer. In his 6 starts with the Steelers, Fields generated 18.89 fantasy points per game. If he'd kept at that pace over 17 games, he would have finished with the 7th most fantasy points among QBs. He could potentially exceed that in the Jets' offense this year. Williams was the big winner of the offseason. The Bears rebuilt the interior of their offensive line, acquiring Joe Thuney, Drew Dalman, and Jonah Jackson. They added one of the best play callers around, new head coach Ben Johnson. And they brought in more weapons, rookies Colston Loveland and Luther Burden III, to join DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and DeAndre Swift. A similar build in Detroit helped take Jared Goff to new heights, both in real life and as a fantasy QB, and Williams is just 1 year removed from being drafted first overall and dubbed a generational prospect. He still brings a ton of upside and should become the first Bears QB to top 4,000 passing yards in a season this year. Plus, he is a sneaky good runner, having tallied nearly 500 yards on the ground in 2024. I went on Fantasy Live last season to talk up Mate every chance I could. His 2024 stats might not jump off the page, but if you watched him play, you saw that he has the ability to be the next great fantasy QB with a strong arm and true playmaking talent. Plus, he is mobile and can pick up sneaky points with his legs, a skill he has alluded to in the preseason. The Patriots improved their offensive line, bringing in Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Garrett Bradbury, and Morgan Moses, and they made additions to May's cast of weapons, drafting Travion Henderson and Kyle Williams, each of whom carries upside in their own right. The only concern I have for May is that the Patriots will not throw enough. Otherwise, the breakout potential is clear to see. Harvey fell to a fantastic landing spot with Sean Payton in Denver. Since 2011, the lead pass-catching back for Payton's teams has averaged 81 targets per season. His top pass-catching RB failed to reach 60 targets just 3 times in that span, but that was because 2 backs each topped 50 targets in those years. In other words, Payton's offense throws to RBs at a very high rate. Not only is Harvey a strong receiver, he is a shifty runner with good speed and should produce a bunch of chunk plays. During my 2025 NFL draft prep, I projected a Bucky Irving-like ceiling for Harvey. I love targeting him as a RB2 in the middle rounds of drafts. Johnson is a big, powerful back who could thrive in Arthur Smith's run-heavy system. Smith's offenses have finished among the top 4 in rushing attempts in 3 straight seasons. Johnson could fill the void left by Najee Harris, who had 299 touches in 2024, and Johnson is the more explosive runner right now. His college tape is littered with big plays. Imagine Harris with all that volume and a Mario Kart mushroom boost. That is what Johnson could be in the Steelers' offense. He's being drafted as a RB3 right now, but he could easily exceed that value. Mason seemingly came out of nowhere last year and ended up flirting with RB1 fantasy status, while Christian McCaffrey was sidelined due to injury. Mason showed he belongs by leading all backs in missed tackles forced rate, 37%, and finishing second in explosive run rate, 15% of carries went for 10-plus yards. He was traded in the offseason but remains in a fantasy-friendly system with the Vikings. We are already hearing talk from camp that suggests Mason and Aaron Jones could split groundwork. Plus, Jones will turn 31 in December and has played in every game only 3 times in his 8-year career. Mason will once again flirt with RB1 value if Jones misses time. Blue is a deeper cut, currently the RB45 in ADP per Fantasy Pros, but he's still a breakout candidate I like. He has great speed, which he showed at the NFL Scouting Combine, 4.38-second 40-yard dash. That speed and the ability to cut quickly stood out when I watched his college tape. He's a weapon out of the backfield as a receiver, too. He reminded me of 2010 first-round pick C.J. Spiller when I was watching his film. Now, Blue will have to beat out Javonte Williams and an already banged-up Miles Sanders for the Cowboys' RB1 job. Williams is the bigger threat, but he has not looked the same since his knee injury a couple years ago. He struggled as a runner and averaged the fourth fewest yards per target of all running backs last year. Blue has the juice and could quickly steal the lead gig in Dallas. Go get him in the later rounds of your drafts. Ridley has long been a favorite of mine. You might be wondering what he's doing on this list, considering he has 3 1,000-yard seasons under his belt, reaching the mark in each of the last 2 years. Well, I believe the last 2 seasons were a major disservice to him. First, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars' offense did not live up to expectations in 2023, when Evan Engram saw more targets than Ridley. Then last year, he had to deal with the Titans' QB woes. Ridley is the clear-cut top target for Tennessee now, and he has a potential QB upgrade in first overall pick Cam Ward. Last season, Ridley had the 3rd highest rate of uncatchable targets, but he led all receivers in air yards per target. It was very volatile usage, and he set a career low in fantasy PPG, yet he still finished as a WR3, which is the price he's going for this year. There is nowhere to go but up for him, and the big season we have been waiting for still remains on the table. Cameron Hayward is still not a full participant in training camp thanks to a contract dispute. On Thursday, ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter updated the situation, and it doesn't sound good. The text of his tweet is below. With little fanfare, Steelers' 4-time All-Pro defensive tackle Cameron Hayward hasn't fully participated in practice yet this summer as he awaits a restructured contract that has not gotten done, per sources. Hayward is scheduled to make $14.75 million this season, with $13.45 million of that already having been earned as a roster bonus in March. Hayward is seeking a raise in a defensive market that has experienced a reset this offseason. Hayward and the Steelers have addressed this privately, but have not made any progress on any reworked deal, per sources. Hayward is entering his 15th NFL season and has spent all of them with the Steelers. The 36-year-old is one of the best defensive tackles in the game and is a cornerstone in Pittsburgh. He has been named to the Pro Bowl in 7 of the last 8 seasons and was named first-team All-Pro last season. This feels like a situation that will have to get done eventually. In an effort to address the depth of their offensive line, the Pittsburgh Steelers added veteran Andrus Peat on Thursday. A 31-year-old taken with the 13th overall pick of the 2015 draft, Peat has 126 games and 103 starts of NFL experience. Between midway through his rookie season and 2022, Peat spent 8 seasons as a starter for the New Orleans Saints, but in 2024 was a reserve for the Las Vegas Raiders. Peat last season spent more time at guard, but in 2023 was more of a tackle. While the majority of his pro starts have come at guard, Peat has plenty of games at both tackle spots. Tackle is also the position in which he entered the league. Throughout Peat's career, most of his playing time has come on the left side of the line. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin described Peat as a grizzly veteran. Peat was named to the Pro Bowl roster 3 consecutive seasons, 2018 to 20. He's a versatile veteran who can play guard and tackle, Tomlin said. The Steelers moved Broderick Jones to left tackle this season. Their top backups at tackle are journeyman veteran Calvin Anderson, who has not practiced in several days because of injury, and Dylan Cook, who has never appeared in an NFL regular season game. The top backups at guard are Spencer Anderson and Max Sharping. Also announced as signed by the Steelers on Thursday was backup quarterback Logan Woodside. Woodside, 30, has appeared in 13 NFL games but has not attempted a pass. The Steelers are his 5th NFL team, but most notably, he twice has been part of a roster that had current Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, in 2018 when Smith was on the Tennessee Titans staff, and in 2022-23, when Smith was the Atlanta Falcons head coach. The Steelers open their preseason Saturday at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tomlin said Thursday that starting quarterback Aaron Rodgers will not play, and rookie Will Howard will sit out because of a hand injury suffered Tuesday. I know Woodside has past experience with Arthur, so I'm not going to the closed door on Woodside playing Saturday, Tomlin said. But we will see. Woodside's most extensive pro experience was as the starter for the San Antonio Commanders of the Alliance of American Football in 2018. His ties with Smith's system made him the Steelers' best option on short notice to have an arm for the preseason opener. Given circumstances with Will Howard, we thought signing Woodside was appropriate, Tomlin said. He'll be a quick study. We'll work hard over the next 48 hours, and he will have game availability. Whether he plays remains to be seen. In the corresponding roster moves, the Steelers waived long snapper Tucker Addington and guard Nick Broker. Each was signed later in the offseason. Christian Kuntz will be the Steelers' snapper for a 5th season.